Earth, 2084. Two global superpowers hover on the brink of war. When the TARDIS is forced to make an unplanned visit to Seabase 4, the Fifth Doctor, Tegan and Turlough find themselves accused of being enemy agents. Quickly embroiled in a deadly game of paranoid intrigue, it becomes clear that others on the base have sabotage and murder in mind. However, there is a greater threat to mankind: the Silurians and Sea Devils, prehistoric reptiles seeking to reclaim the Earth. Can the Doctor prevent them implementing their final solution and triggering a war that could wipe out the entire human race? Hello, welcome friends and companions. Welcome to the Random Entertainment Channel. This is your host, Enigmatic Joker. How are you today? Have you watched Doctor Who today or last weekend? It's very important to watch Doctor Who. And I highly recommend you to watch Doctor Who every day. Because one Doctor a day, yeah, you know it. The Apple and the Doctor. Oh yeah? So every time watch as much as possible Doctor Who, because Doctor Who is very good for many different things, and so uh, again, I highly recommend you to watch Doctor Who. So this channel is about random, about variety, about non-fixed or fixed, whatever. So what is random all about? Random cause we will discuss everything that involves entertainment, including movies, series, books, and music, and especially Doctor Who. Everything starts with Doctor Who and ends with Doctor Who. So, for example, if you want to watch Star Wars, watch first episode of Doctor Who, then you can start to watch Star Wars, and then you end with an episode of Doctor Who. So that is what I highly recommend you. For dinner, you need before that before the meal, you need some delicious forte. So watch Doctor Who. But yeah, you can put your IDs on the below this video. You can also find me on Discord, by the way. This is also called what's very surprising, Random Entertainment Channel Tag Doctor Who. And you can also there contact me with your IDs to do on this channel because, for example, I'm a really very huge music fan, and we can also talk about music. And that's also in the planning, by the way, to also do some streams about music. And of course, we do on regular or irregular basis Doctor Who. Yeah, it's sometimes a little bit complicated. I know, but it doesn't matter. By the way, Doctor Who is also not logical at sometimes. That's also the charm of this show of Doctor Who. It's non-logical and sometimes logical. It's very surprise what and what for everyone. It depends what is canon and what is not. But let's enjoy together Doctor Who. Let's not make things about discussion about non-canonical or canonical. Let not make the breaking points. We must unite together and enjoy and watch this show and talk about this show together. Of course, you have your favorite doctor, your favorite companion, your favorite episode, your favorite story, whatever, your favorite villain, but let's enjoy together and let's find out together. And so, oh, of course, you are very welcome to join me in panel and live stream. So can we talk about together about this wonderful show? And I will do a random announcement. So again, Sci-Fi Fantasy fans meet on his channel for fun chats about their beloved books, movies, series, and franchises. We also talk about food and drinks, music and sport. I really like some fries, but okay, whatever. So, random, because we will broadcast on non-fixed times, actually on many different times. And that also depends on the time zone, of course. If you listen or watch this live stream in Australia, of course, it's other time than in Africa or the Atlantic Sea or the North Pole. If you are an Eskimo, or are fairly also very welcome. And if you're watching your igloo to this live stream, and I wish you very good time on. Yeah. So random also we will have no guests, different guests. Depends who wants to join me in the live stream panel. If you want to join me in the live stream, or what I already said it, but I repeat myself. You can feel free to contact me via Discord or YouTube. You can put your comment under this video, or you can contact me via Discord. You can send me a private message via Discord, and then we will see what is possible. That's Discord, Random Entertainment Channel Tech Doctor Who. Last weekend I did a series, uh, The Companions of the Doctor, and I did a live stream about the Companions of the 12th Doctor, Part 2, and that was with Nardo and Bill Potts. And next Saturday, that is on the 27th of January, we will discuss, analyze, enjoy, whatever. We will talk about the companions of the 13th Doctor, Ryan Sinclair, Jess Khan, Graham O'Brien, and Dan Lewis. So, four companions. So, and by the way, there are many playlists on this YouTube channel. I have a playlist about the personality of the Doctor. Actually, the actual name is the psychological profile of the Doctor, where we discuss the different incarnations of the Doctor. And so we are now in the current series of the Companions of Doctors, also a playlist about that. And we are nearly the end of this series of Companions of the Doctor. So you can find it all. So now this day today, I will discuss Fifth Doctor Who, Fifth Doctor story, and that is the Warriors of the Deep. And of course, I have explained it last week. I will do random stories about the Doctor, not in chronological order again, nothing chronological again of broadcast. I do a random story because Doctor Who is not always chronological, and I do the not chronological. And then random, by the way, random entertainments. So random stories, and that is all about this. So this today is the Fifth Doctor, man, but maybe it's next time it's another incarnation of the Doctor, another story. So we'll jump in from story to story, and then yeah, it's a long time project, and by in the end I probably have done, and hopefully I have done all the stories of the Doctor, because it is worth it. Doctor Who, and every incarnation has its own value, has its own things, has its own strong points. And again, everyone has his own favorites, and but my view is that every incarnation of Doctor has some things that you can really enjoy, and because of course, my love is I love the Doctor. So the Doctor is what incarnation you? Or made more incarnations of this Doctor. So now we do now today the Warriors of the Deep. So before that, I want to say to you, cheers, mate, and I've lost fun. My name is Enigmatic Joker. So, Warriors of the Deep. Warriors of the Deep is a four-part story, 4 episodes. So, Warriors of the Deep was the first serial of season 21 of Doctor Who. It marked the return of two enemy races last seen during John Pertwee's tenure as the Third Doctor, the Silurians and the Sea Devils, who make their only televised appearance in the same story. The Silurians and Sea Devils hadn't appeared in the series since Doctor Who and the Silurians and the Sea Devils, respectively. This story was beset with numerous production problems and even political considerations. Because in that time, Margaret Thatcher had called an election when production began, and the reference to the two superpowers in the story would be seen as a reference to Cold War. So, anything removed many, but some remained in production. Everyone involved with the making of the series has cited this as an example of how not to do a Doctor Who story. It was during production that Peter Davison and Janet Fielding announced that they were leaving the series. So this was some serious business and background of this whole thing. But of course, we are very happy to have this story also in the whole story of the Doctor Who. So it was a very battled the series, but and at the end there was a story. Whatever. Every time has its own things and has its own difficulties, also challenges. But we see also, kijk, that's the point of the show. Doctor Who in the 70s is different in when it is in is now. So there's also I think cultural, but also think political in backgrounds. So there also you cannot avoid as a writer of Doctor Who that there are some slightly some things in the show, but for me, I'm looking purely to action, to the adventure, to the pleasure of the actors, the chemistry between the actors. I'm looking for that. I'm looking for the special effects. I'm looking for the plot in the story, and that's for me is the most important. Because that is the version I like Doctor Who. So that is serious business told. Now, we dive into the plot. So I say, spoiler alert, because if you haven't watched the Doctor Who story yet, I highly recommend you to watch Warriors of the Deep. And so, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. I'm now diving into the plot and I will go from part to part. And there are 4 parts, and I will now start with part 1. So, if you haven't watched it, press the pause button because I'm now going to plot 1. Part 1. You have some more pause because I take some water. Okay, there we go. Part 1. The year is 2084 and there's a Cold War in progress. The world is divided into 2 opposing superpower blocks. One of the blocks has created a secret underwater base, Seabase 4, which is strategically positioned and has nuclear weapons aimed at the opposing block. As a security measure, the base's proton missiles cannot be activated unless a trained human operator can sync their mind with the computer and authorize the deployments. However, the bridge sync operator, Lieutenant Michaels, has been mysteriously killed and has been succeeded by his inexperienced apprentice, Ensign Maddox. Maddox is nervous, fearing he is not ready to take over as a sync officer and will not be able to cope if a missile run is ordered. An unidentified reading is detected by the base's long-range sensors, but the base's commander, Forshock, and one of his officers, Bulik, dismiss it as nothing more than a glitch. The reading on the sea base and sensors is in fact an undersea craft. On board is a Silurian Ictar, with his subordinates Skibes and Tark. Inside the TARDIS, the 5th Doctor has set coordinates for Earth, telling Turlough, who had changed his mind about returning home, he has promised he can show her some of her planet's future. The TARDIS materializes in orbit over Earth, but is confronted by a robotic security satellite, Centennial 6, which demands the TARDIS transmit the proper security codes. Meanwhile, the sea base sends out an unmanned probe to check on the identified reading just to be sure. Taking note of the probe, Skibus is concerned that they will be detected. But Ektar sends America, a large aquatic reptile with ability to electrocute other organisms that the Solarians control against it. He assures Skibus that the creature will destroy the probe before they are detected. They then descend to a secret underwater berth where there are crossing species the sea devils have long been in hibernation. So, Sea Base 4 undergoes a missile run and Maddox is synced to the computer. It turns out to only be a practice drill, but when it ends, Maddox is overwhelmed with anxiety and faints. The base's chief medical officer, Dr. Solo, declares Maddox is unfit for duty. Rorschach is concerned. Until Maddox can return to his duties or a replacement is assigned, the function of the base is compromised. Another officer, Nielsen, suggests to Rorschach that he use a special security disk to reprogram Maddox's brain and help the sync operator cope with his job. Rorschach agrees and releases a duplicate program disk to Nielsen and Solo, who take Maddox to the medical area's psychosurgery unit. And Nielsen and Solo, however, are actually enemy agents for opposing bloc. They plan to program Maddox so that they will destroy the nuclear weapons computer. Exiting the TARDIS, the Dr. Tegan and Turlo find themselves in a chemical storage area. And from the design, the Doctor accurately surmises the year and is aware of the time period's Cold War. Turlo signals for a lift, inadvertently triggering an alert in the base's security system. A team led by Bulik is dispatched to investigate. The Doctor sets a reactor to overload in an attempt to avoid capture. This allows Tegan and Turlo to escape, but a security guard catches up to the Doctor. The two struggle, and the Doctor falls over a ledge into a tank of water. Tegan wants to help the Doctor, but Turlo urges her to flee, saying she must accept the Doctor has drowned. That's part one. Let's go to part two. The Doctor swims underwater and escapes through the hatchway. Tegan and Turlo escape through a bulkhead, sabotaging it so they cannot be followed by Wulik and his security guards. A security guard is electrocuted while trying to open the bulkhead. The Doctor finds a guard and takes his radiation chute. Meanwhile, Turlo allows himself to be captured in order to give Tegan a chance to escape. In the underwater berth, Iktar revives the Sea Devil warriors of Elite Group 1 from their hibernation and orders their commander, Sovix, to attack Sea Base 4. They may kill the humans, but Iktar needs the base intact and undamaged. Turlo is captured when a bulkhead seals between him and Tegan. Turlo is taken to the bridge for questioning. Doctor meets up with Tegan. They head towards the bridge. Outside the bridge, the Doctor leaves Tegan in hiding while he enters the bridge to find Turlo. The Doctor enters the bridge and starts to negotiate the release of Turlo. Tegan is found by Preston, a worker on the sea base, who takes her to the bridge. A Silurian battlecruiser comes into view of the base, and Vorshak orders an attack on it. Doctor tells Vorshak to call off the attack, stating that the Silurians are a noble race. Vorshak ignores him, and the Silurians use a particle suppressor to neutralize the base's defenses. In the confusion, Solo and Nielsen use medics to sabotage the station. One of the base's personnel, Karina, discovers this and attempts to stop Maddox, but Solo and Nielsen force him to kill her. The Silurians then launch their attack, dispatching the Mirka against the sea base Airlock 1 and the Sea Devils to assault Airlock 5. The Doctor and his companions head to Airlock 1, while Vorshak, Preston, and the team heads to Airlock 5. The America breaks the door down, trapping Tegan and killing some of the base's crew with its electric touch. Doctor stays to free Tegan, but the other crew members retreat, seeing the bulkhead and therefore leaving the Doctor and Tegan trapped in the airlock with America. So, that's part 2. Then part 3. So, the doctor is able to free Tegan when America steps on the side of the door, raising up the side Tegan was trapped under. They are then trapped by the bulkhead, and the doctor is unable to open the door. The doctor removes the rifle's power pack and thus it at the America, causing the power pack to explode and temporarily blinds the America. Turlo races to the bridge and threatens Nielsen with a rifle to open the airlock in which the doctor and Tegan are trapped. After Nielsen complies, the doctor and Tegan escape and head to airlock 5. This also releases the America. The creature begins making its way towards the bridge, killing more of the base's personnel. The Silurians prime up at a device called the Manipulator, prepared to enter the base. At airlock 5, the doctor tells Vorshak that he has an idea to defeat the America and that he needs one person to help. Vorshak tells Preston to help him. Preston leaves Vorshak at airlock 5 and he heads off to help the doctor and Tegan stop the America. The Sea Devils blow open airlock 5 and rudely kill the defender, suffering no casualties of their own. Vorshak manages to survive and orders a retreat. Doctor works with Preston to modify an ultraviolet converter to fight America with. Vorshak orders Nielsen to radio their superiors to inform them of the attack. Nielsen and Dr. Solo discuss what they should do, and Nielsen tells Dr. Solo to flee in an escape pod while he continues manipulating Madoc's sabotage. Dr. Solo tries to flee the base with a reprogramming disk, but is killed by the America. The America comes around a hallway corner towards the doctor and is destroyed by the ultraviolet converter. The Sea Devils continue their push towards the bridge, killing any crew that stands in their way. The Silurians follow in their path. Vorshak reaches the bridge with Preston and finds Nielsen alone and not setting up the communication with their superiors. Suspicious, he has Preston look for Maddox. He finds him sabotaging the computers. Vorshak tries to stop Maddox, but Maddox throws him to the ground. Maddox collapses because of the effort from the manipulation by Nielsen. Preston and Vorshak confront Nielsen and attempt to take him into custody, but he pulls a gun on them. The doctor and Tegan enter the room and are captured as well. Maddox tries to stop Nielsen, but Nielsen overloads the control unit from Maddox's brain, killing him. Preston tries to grab the gun that Maddox dropped, and the doctor tries to knock the gun out of Nielsen's hand, but Nielsen knocks over the doctor and takes Tegan hostage. Nielsen takes Tegan and leaves the bridge to try and escape in an escape pod. Bullock and Durlow are still retreating while fighting with Sea Devils, but as they step through a doorway, they walk right into another group of Sea Devils and are captured. They lock Turlo and Bullock in the crew's quarters. The doctor runs after Nielsen and makes it back to the ultraviolet converter. Nielsen comes around a corner with Tegan still hostage and confronts the doctor. The doctor blinds him with the ultraviolet converter. Grabs Tegan and both head back towards the bridge while Nielsen, still blind, stumbles around in the corner into a group of Sea Devils who kill him. Sea Devils come around the corner and capture the doctor and Tegan. Oh, we now are in part 4. Part 4. So, the Sea Devils take the doctor to the bridge, now under the control of the Silurians. The doctor recognizes Iktar from his third incarnation and confronts him about the massacre in the base. Iktar explains to the doctor and Vorshak his plan to destroy mankind by starting a war with the base's missiles. The nations of the world will retaliate, wiping one another out. They undo the damage caused by Maddox's sabotage and connect the manipulator to the systems. Turlo, meanwhile, has been trying to loosen a grill that leads to a ventilation shaft when he hears someone approaching. The door opens and the Sea Devils push Preston and Tegan into the room. Once they leave, Turlo loosens the grill and Tegan and Bullock escape as Turlo considers trying to escape to the TARDIS. Tegan and Bullock find their way to a door to the bridge and Bullock gestures to the doctor who then escapes unnoticed from the bridge. They make their way to the storage room and try to find something to use against the reptiles. They discover some cylinders with hexachromite gas, which is lethal to all reptile life. A Sea Devil discovers the doctor's presence and attempts to shoot him. He misses the doctor and hits one of the guest containers, which sprays all over the warrior. As a result, the warrior begins to dissolve. Preston urges the doctor to use the gas on the Silurians and Sea Devils. The doctor adamantly refuses, accusing Preston of advocating genocide. Turlough reminds the doctor of what the Silurians will do if they are able to launch the missiles. The doctor is unable to find anything else harmful but less lethal and regretfully begins to connect the gas containers to a central air pump. The doctor is discovered by Sovix before he can turn the pump on. Preston grabs a gun but is killed by Sovix. Willick sprays Sovix with the gas, killing him. As the Silurians prepare to fire the missiles, the doctor feeds the gas into the ventilation system. Bulik stands in the chemical store to ensure that the gas keeps flowing, while the doctor and his companions leave for the bridge to try to stop the Silurians. Skybus activates the missiles as the Sea Devils begin to collapse from the gas, and the doctor tells Tegan and Turlough to give the Silurians oxygen to keep them alive. The doctor, aided by Vorshak, tries to stop the missiles by linking himself into the equipment as a sync operator. The doctor succeeds, but Vorshak is killed by Iktar. Then Iktar is killed by Turlough. Finally, it's all over. The doctor, his companions, and Mulik are the only survivors. The doctor is left in despair for both the base's personnel and the Silurians, regretfully pondering. There should have been another way. That, my friends, is the end of Warriors of the Deep, a fifth Doctor Who TV story. So, now, who are the cast members? The Doctor, played by Peter Davison, Deacon, played by Janet Fielding, Turlough, played by Mark Strickson, Horshack, played by Tom Adams, Solo, played by Ingrid Pitt, Nielsen, played by Ian McCulloch, Bulik, played by Nigel Humphreys, Maddox, played by Martin Neal, Preston, played by Tara Ward, Iktar, played by Norman Comer, Karina Nitsa Osal, Skibes Stuart Blake, Tarpok Vincent Brimble, Suffix Christopher Ferries, and Paroli James Coombs. Perfect. Now we go to some things notable about places. Airlock 1 and Airlock 5 are a part of Seabase 4. And about the species, the Silurians and the Sea Devils know themselves by those titles. The second thing, the Silurians, Kibis, Skybus, and Tarpok are led by Iktar, sole survivor of the noble Silurian triad. Iktar knows the doctor. And the third thing is about the X-chromite grass is lethal to the Silurians and Sea Devils. So, less of all about the continuity, because again, in almost every story, every episode of Doctor Who, there are some references to the past and also some links to the future, of future stories to the past. Do you understand it? Okay. The thing is, you have pieces of the puzzle, and sometimes you see some things in the stories that are referring to the past. And as you have seen future episodes, you can see some links with if you see some future episodes, you can see links to this story. So it all it ends up all well, or not, or you see the logic or not, whatever. It makes no difference. Enjoy the show. So, but I will discuss some continuity. So, the Doctor previously encountered both the Silurians in Doctor Who and the Silurians. That was with John Pertwee, third Doctor. So he encountered both the Silurians and the Sea Devils. And that you can see in the TV episode, The Sea Devils, all in the third incarnation. He recalls that he felt he let them down. Both bases in those encounters have been destroyed as well. By the way, he later encounters another branch of the species in his 11th incarnation, the Hungry Earth. and is ultimately forced to let them down a fourth time, though on a somewhat smaller scale. You can see that in Cold Blood. So that's these are The Hungry Earth and Cold Blood are future episodes, but they are referring our links to this story. So that is the very good. I like that there are constantly and or regularly made connections to the past. Okay, we go further. Second thing, um, the scales of injustice attempts to reconcile some of the incontinuities if it evident in Wars of the Deep. It does not if it identify the Silurians from Doctor Who and the Silurians as member of the Triad, giving them their own names. They also established Wars of the Deep as a sequel to Scales rather than apparent original intention of Doctor Who and the Silurians. So that's also about prose. The Silurians also appear in prose Scales on Justice, Audio Blue Tide, and Audio the Coup. Not so familiar. I've never listened to that, but there's a reference to those audios. The scales of justice attempts to reconcile some of the incontinuities. I already said that even in Wars of Deep. So it doesn't divide the Silurians from Doctor Who and the Silurians and is member of the Triad, giving them their own names. So it's also established Wars of Deep as a sequel to Scales rather than the apparent original intention of Doctor Who and the Silurians. So there's some time loop, whatever. Sea Devils also appear in other pros Bloodheat. And the fourth thing is when the Dr. Tegan and Turlo are cornered in the reactor room near the end of part one. The doctor says to Tegan and Turlo, "When I say run, run." And then it's a little bit quiet, and he says, "Run." This quote was previously used by a second incarnation Patrick Troughton on numerous occasions. So that was his catchphrase of the second incarnation. So also a link. By the way, Pete Davidson was very inspired in the second incarnation. He used more things of the second incarnation during his era. So he did his own work. That's by the way very important for every future actor who will play Doctor Who. Do your homework. Go and watch past incarnations of the Doctor. Also on the classic Who era, also in the new Who era. Because if you know some things about what is done in the past, you can then use that for your and give your own twist, your own input, your own contribution to add to the Doctor, because it's very important, and refer to past incarnations. Very important to the Doctor. That's all for and also know the heritage of Doctor Who and why it is important for fans. So it's very important to. So this is some advice for future actors of Doctor Who. Okay, but use your own uniqueness, by the way, as an actor, uh, and with the knowledge of past. So that's little advice of enigmatic jogger. Right, yeah. Okay. Um, point five. No, okay, no, there's no point five at all. That was it. So that is the story of the Warriors of the Deep, Fifth Doctor story. Oh, it's raining here again. By the way, have you got also some storm in your country? Yeah. Here we have I don't know what it's called. Every storm has its own name. I don't know, but we had some storm here. Okay. So very good, very good. Um, Okay, I will do some. Again, we are some commercial. So we end with Sci-Fi Fantasy fans meet on this channel for fun chats about their beloved books, movies, series, and franchises. We also talk about food, drinks, music, and sport. We are called Random because we will discuss everything that involves entertainment, including movies, series, books, and music. And as you can see and listen, we are doing I have a special place for Doctor Who here, and I have a special place marked for Doctor Who, a Doctor of Time and Space. Because Random because we will broadcast on non-fixed times, actually on many different times. You need to subscribe to this channel to know what time the broadcast is. Random. Also, because we have no guests or different guests. It depends who wants to join me in the live stream panel. If you want to join me in the live stream, feel free to contact me via Discord, YouTube, and we'll look what is possible. The Discord server is called Random Entertainment Channel Tech Doctor Who. Today we did fifth Doctor Who story, Warriors of the Deep. Next time we will discuss. I will talk about another episode, another story of Doctor Who, and subscribe to this channel, and you know what next time. Well, what story and on which time it is. The next story will be. Okay, on Saturday the 27th we have current series The Companions of the Doctor, and we will do Companions of the 13th Doctor on Saturday on the 27th. So that was it for. So cheers, mate, and have lots of fun. Your host, Enigmatic Joker. So that is all. Stay tuned. I hope you enjoyed this live stream, and if you watch this stream later, have great fun. And I highly recommend you like and subscribe this video, and subscribe to this channel, and you will know when the next live stream will be and what we will discuss and what we will talk about. So I hope to meet you next time. I say to you all, watch Doctor Who tonight. Watch Doctor Who tomorrow. Watch Doctor Who all the time. And for now, I say to you, goodbye. And have applause for you. Bye.